Thank you for speaking to us. Now, joining me next is my other guest, Dr. Rajat Mitra, who's a senior psychologist. Sir, I welcome you on the broadcast. Thank you for speaking to NewsX. First up, I want to understand from you about your first reaction to the campaign that has been launched by NewsX, where we are inviting the most qualified scientific minds to discuss the profiling of rapists. Would you be willing to extend your support also to this campaign, and how do you view this being implemented at a larger scale, offering the benefits of having a study curated to study these minds so that it can help in reforming such sickness in the society?
Yes, absolutely. I think profiling of rapists, their modus operandi and the signature by which they operate are extremely important for us to know and develop policies by which the crime can be reduced. Rape, as we know, is a behavioral crime, and the crime scene is the woman's body. There is a shift needed in the mindset of the police judiciary that the crime scene in rape is a woman's body, and rape is a behavioral crime and more behavioral out of all crimes. So therefore, profiling is an extremely important procedure in order for us to curb this crime, and I'll extend my full support for that.
Well, thank you for all your words, and indeed profiling will enhance the kind of study and the kind of lessons that we can get from this campaign. Now, do you also think, Mr. Mitra, that such a scientific study will help us building more accurate policies and laws to prevent rapes and sexual assaults in the long run having been committed in the country?
Sure, it will not only help policies, but it will profoundly influence the sentencing process. Today's sentencing process for rapists is, can be often very arbitrary. The judge or the courtroom scene is often like this, where they decide on the quantum of trauma for the person depending upon personal or sometimes even subjective factors. There is a great deal of objectivity which is needed right now in the courts in order to make the sentencing more streamlined, more smooth, and also something which is relevant for the rapist and for the society. So that sense of objectivity can only be brought about by such a process.
Certainly, sense of objectivity is also important to look at. Sir, we also have the FBI, which has conducted such studies, which have shown remarkable great impact on the understanding of the motives that criminals develop and the patterns as well. Do you think these kind of studies and the measures can also be roped in to essentially help with what India is trying to do at this point of time?
Absolutely, they can be roped in, and I think they have a behavioral sciences unit which they have developed over the years. And I know that periodically from time to time I was also asked to do so, but I think the political will was not there, and the kind of inputs that were needed as a formal policy was never developed, neither after Nirbhaya nor even the period after that. So a formal institutionalized way is extremely important. A behavioral sciences unit is very much needed over here in our country.
Mr. Mitra, do you also agree with the fact that medical sciences such as brain mapping of rapists can help build solutions in our fight as a society against rape in the further course of years, because it is becoming more so important because it's 2024 and we are still debating about the measures only that need to be reinforced as more and more women choose to work, more and more women come out and have the financial independence in the first place?
Absolutely. I think brain mapping and other procedures are what we call pre-indicators for how a person may behave or is going to behave. And pre-indicators are extremely important to know which direction a person is developing, how a person is growing in turning to be an offender, a criminal. So I think that it will greatly contribute to that process.
Mr. Mitra, what are the other solutions that the medical community, you being one from the same community and fraternity, what are the other solutions that we can look at which can be provided in a fight against sexual assaults and rapes in the country?
One is that make it a community approach, because when people see crime in our country, they don't report it. That's one. Secondly, to make it multidisciplinary. So it is not just one particular discipline that can help in curbing the crime, but several disciplines together can and need to work together with a great deal of political will behind that in order to develop such an institution that can do this job.
Well, thank you for all your inputs, Dr. Mitra. We appreciate you joining on the broadcast for all your valuable inputs. Now, viewers, that was all the news of the nation and the world. We'll continue to track all the developments very closely. Stay with us.